Have you ever gone out of your way to help someone only to feel like it didn't even matter? Like no one noticed, or worse, they just brushed it off? Maybe you bought a gift for a friend, gave your time to a colleague, or offered emotional support to someone who needed it, and it felt like your kindness disappeared into thin air. You feel invisible, unappreciated, or even a little frustrated. But here's the thing. It's not because you're doing too much or because people are mean. There's a psychological reason why people ignore acts of kindness, and understanding it will completely shift how you see yourself and your interactions. Think about this. In school, at work, or even among friends, some people are quick to notice mistakes, but slow to acknowledge efforts. You may have tried to be generous, empathetic, and thoughtful, and yet it feels like your gestures vanish into thin air. It's almost as if your kindness is invisible. And when this happens repeatedly, it chips away at your confidence. Why does this happen? Is it really that people don't care, or is there a deeper, hidden psychology at play? First, let's talk about human attention. Our brains are wired to prioritize threats, mistakes, and novelty. Evolutionarily, it made sense. Noticing danger kept our ancestors alive. But gratitude, appreciation, or kindness, those get lower priority in our mental filing system. This doesn't mean people are cruel. It just means your actions don't always register consciously. For example, if you went out of your way to help someone meet a deadline, they might feel thankful, but their brain will file it as a normal interaction rather than an extraordinary effort. Another reason kindness is ignored is expectation. If someone repeatedly receives kindness from you, their brain starts taking it for granted. It becomes background noise. Your effort is no longer exceptional because their mind now expects it. This can be frustrating. You feel like, I'm giving my best and no one even notices. But what your brain and the other person's brain are doing is completely normal. It's just a cognitive bias. We notice deviations from the norm, not routine goodness. Interestingly, there's also a neuroscience angle. Mirror neurons in our brains allow us to feel what others feel. If someone is overwhelmed, distracted, or emotionally low, they might not register your kindness fully. They feel your intention partially, but their own mental noise blocks full recognition. This explains why even your most genuine efforts can sometimes go unnoticed. The person isn't ignoring you intentionally. Their brain simply can't process your gesture fully in that moment. Some people are naturally more sensitive to kindness than others. Psychologists often categorize people into two types: orchids and dandelions. Dandelions are resilient, less affected by external validation, and may unconsciously minimize acts of kindness. Orchids, on the other hand, are deeply sensitive and may overvalue appreciation. If you're someone who values acknowledgement and you're surrounded by dandelion-type people, it's easy to feel ignored. This isn't a reflection of your worth, it's a mismatch between your emotional wiring and the environment. This brings us to a critical mindset shift. Your kindness is valuable, even if it isn't recognized. Human behavior is inconsistent, and external acknowledgement is never guaranteed. When you tie your self-worth to validation, disappointment is inevitable. Instead, the focus should be on integrity, being kind because it aligns with who you are, not because someone will notice. This small shift in perspective transforms your energy and resilience. Imagine this. You help a colleague finish a project, but they don't say thank you. Instead of feeling frustrated, notice the internal benefit. You honed your skills, practiced patience, and strengthened your problem solving. The kindness itself created value. Or think about friends or family. Sometimes acts of service are overlooked because people are absorbed in their own lives. Recognizing this pattern reduces emotional disappointment and helps maintain healthy boundaries. Not all ignored kindness is accidental. Some people actively reject help due to pride, fear, or discomfort. They may feel indebted or vulnerable when accepting generosity. Psychologists explain that for these individuals, accepting kindness threatens their autonomy or ego. This can feel personal, but it isn't about you. Understanding this prevents emotional overload and self-blame. So, how do you navigate this reality? First, separate your actions from outcomes. Your goal is to act with integrity, not to control responses. Second, develop emotional resilience. Reflect, are you giving to genuinely help or to be appreciated? Third, recognize patterns. Notice who consistently values your gestures and who doesn't. Invest your energy where it matters most. Research shows that people often undervalue acts of kindness due to availability bias. They notice negative events more than positive ones. Additionally, people's emotional bandwidth fluctuates. Someone stressed may not fully register generosity. This explains why you can be deeply kind yet feel invisible. It's not your failure, it's human cognitive bias. Consider Sarah, a woman who volunteered at her local community center for years. Most of her contributions went unnoticed, but internally, she experienced fulfillment, growth, and a sense of purpose. Eventually, others started noticing, not because she sought recognition, but because her impact was undeniable over time. So, next time you feel ignored, remember, kindness is not wasted. Your brain benefits, relationships evolve, and people who value you will eventually notice. Take a moment today, reflect on your acts of kindness, and celebrate them internally. And if you found this video helpful, share it with someone who often feels invisible. Comment below, I will be kind anyway.